So I went to go see the trial, the Daniel Perry trial, the alleged shooting downtown. I knew nothing about the incident, didn't know anyone in the case, know anyone about this whole thing. I am completely blank, other than some news snippets I heard about in the news. So I go to the trial. I came out the other side another person. This trial was something else. It really was. How do you explain a trial to someone when everyone's made up their own mind about it? They have not seen it themselves. This trial was never televised. Never. Only a few people have the transcripts. The only people that cared that were in this trial were the affected families and some journalists. I had no idea at the time that of the connections between people in office and the journalists, as I came to later find out. I didn't know how far this rabbit hole went. I had not the slightest clue. And now they're all interested now because, oh crap, the thing that happened in that trial, now it's blowing up. Oh, I was on Instagram. I mean, not all of them were, to be fair. I mean, there were some good journalists in there. Not a lot. And you'd look at the news stories and be like, there's no way they're posting that. You know, as it's being presented in the news, man, no wonder everyone's up in arms about this guy. Protesters, quote unquote, that were in the street, armed. They have been picked up on other charges before, or similar activities of attacking cars, acting in concert while armed, stopping cars, surrounding cars, attacking other cars. These are people using violence in concert with one another, organizing in the streets, while some of them armed, not all of them, but some of them armed. There's a guy named Nico Daisy, Justin Daisy, whatever his name is. He shot at Daniel Perry's car as it was driving off. The threat was gone. The encounter already happened. He's hundreds of feet away. Car's going the opposite direction. No one is in danger. Shot at the car. He did not get charged for that. This person never got indicted. Justin Daisy, not only did he not get indicted, but he got picked up a couple of days, well, not a couple of days, about a week later for similar activity. He was unlawfully armed, unlawfully carrying, this is a charge, actual charge, affidavit, and what was the other charge? I forget the other charge, but he got picked up. Oh yeah, impeding a roadway. Impeding a roadway. He got picked up for impeding a roadway and carrying unlawfully while armed. And it's crazy because, Foster, everyone's being told, and we found this out, we were told this in trial. He was legally carrying. I knew that's not true. Anyone is armed and impeding traffic, I'm sorry, that's not legal. And as far as I know, you have to be in a place you're legally allowed to be if you're armed. That would not be legally carrying. But the rabbit hole goes even deeper. The Air Force, I found out after the trial, the Air Force, for whatever reason, said that this guy cannot carry guns, cannot transport guns, he cannot be around guns. Do not allow this guy around guns. And they were supposed to put in some type of request into the National Registry system that prevents people from buying guns. That request never got sent or something happened to where he still got a gun. It's so mind blowing that the guy who had 120 rounds, 120 bullets on him, and an AK-47 impeding traffic. Some witness accounts of him muzzle waving other motorists. Police officers were found out in trial were called because he was frightening people. Why is this guy downtown Austin walking around with an AK-47 impeding traffic? Police officers, this is Texas, so it's not technically illegal to have a long rifle, but they were like telling him, like, hey, dude, you shouldn't do this. Like, you're gonna get shot. And the officers told, and those aren't the exact words, but basically that's what it was. It's been paraphrased. Like, this is not a good idea. And then on the fateful night, when Daniel Perry, who was Ubering that entire day, he Ubered downtown Austin while I was texting with a girl to get with a girl. He's texting with this girl, and it goes, this is a moving protest. This protest was not in one spot. It was moving around. Did not have a permit. They did not have a permit to protest. They were impeding traffic. Some of them armed. Daniel Perry, runs a red light, making a right-hand turn away from the crowd. I don't know if you've seen the videos, but, the people that he took a right-hand turn on, these were stragglers. Most of the crowd was to the left of him. And then when he honked his horn, they did the same thing that there are documented accounts of that they did before. They surrounded a car that honked their horn. They attacked the car, and then a guy named Garrett Foster with 120 rounds, an AK-47, well, so Palmetto Arms AK-style long rifle, came up to the car. Exactly what happened, it's kind of hard to determine. Witnesses did not agree with one another, what they said happened. And they also changed their stories multiple times, as I have found out after the trial, following this whole thing and getting information on it. What we know is that these people engaged in activity to stop cars, circle cars, attack cars, even pulling on door handles to try and get people out of these cars. Daniel Perry's car, his car was dented. There was marks on the windshield. Think about this. This is tempered glass. How that windshield didn't break, I don't know, but there are marks on the windshield that we saw on trial. A guy who had 120 bullets, 120 rounds on him, and a guy that had a 357 5 bullets on him, shot at a guy that he even under, wasn't admitted as court because it can't be admitted as evidence, but he took a lie detector test. The lie detector test said he passed when he said, that guy pointed his gun at me. It was Daniel Perry that took that lie detector test. He shot 5 rounds. All 5 rounds hit the intended target. No one else was hit. The crowd around him scattered, got out of the way. He had a path to get free, and he floored it and got out of there. While he was driving away, while he was no longer a threat, if he was a threat at all, a guy named Justin Daisy shot at him while fleeing. Now, there are accounts that he characterized it another way than he did in court that I've looked into. He says he did it to mark a car, but you'd be hard-pressed to find any agency to say, we would shoot at a fleeing vehicle to mark it. Shooting at a fleeing vehicle, in most circumstances, there has to be something unusual about it for you to do that. Shooting your gun is deadly force. You cannot use deadly force against a fleeing vehicle. Unless they're shooting while they're fleeing back at you. That might be something different. This was a vehicle that was not shooting at anybody, was fleeing. And this whole case is crazy. I feel heavily that this guy's innocent. If you look at what I saw, not what the news are copying and pasting off to one another. If you look at the actual trial, the actual transcript, and then understand that what was let in trial isn't everything. There's stuff. There's exculpatory evidence that was not let in. Evidence showing innocence. And they're going after his character. They're going after allegations of him being a pedophile. But in this particular instance of using deadly force, I'm sorry, but the evidence does not show that Daniel Perry is guilty. It just doesn't. This is a Michael Morton situation all over again. A person in power needed to win this case. A person in power did things that they should not have done to lock up an innocent man. And he will never be sorry for that. Never be sorry for that. In fact, he thinks I'm the crazy one, I bet. But I mean, the guy who locked up Michael Morton, he never apologized. That guy contended till the end that he never did anything wrong. Ken Anderson is the guy. He's the district attorney at the time. Never said he did something wrong. He says the justice system failed him. Travis County locked up an innocent man. And Travis County is not sorry about it. That should be investigated. That should get people locked up.